They never miss. That's what everyone believes about U.S. Navy SEAL snipers. But on this mission, every shot failed. One of the deadliest men in the world was moving through a crowded valley, and the snipers couldn't hit him. Bullet after bullet missed. The clock was ticking. Lives were at stake. Then a calm, unexpected voice spoke through the comms. She wasn't a sniper. She wasn't even supposed to be there. And in less than a minute, everything changed. Because sometimes, the difference between failure and success isn't skill, it's perspective. Stick around, because what she did next will shock you. They never miss. That's the truth everyone knows about U.S. Navy SEAL snipers. These are men trained to slow their breathing until the world disappears. Men who can calculate distance, wind, gravity, and motion in the space of a heartbeat. When they pull the trigger, history usually changes. But on this day, nothing went as planned. High above a hostile desert valley, a SEAL sniper team lay hidden along a jagged rocky ridge. Their bodies were perfectly still, blended into the terrain like shadows carved from stone. Below them, the valley shimmered under brutal heat. Wind rushed through the canyon like a living thing, twisting dust and sand into the air. Their target was moving fast. A powerful warlord, responsible for bombings, kidnappings, and dozens of deaths, was weaving through a crowded settlement below. He knew how to survive. He stayed close to civilians, children, families, people he knew the Americans wouldn't risk harming. The mission briefing had been clear and simple, one clean shot. No mistakes, no second chances. The first sniper adjusted his scope, slowed his breath, and squeezed the trigger. Crack! The bullet flew and struck rock behind the target. Miss. The second sniper recalculated. Wind correction, elevation, temperature. He fired. Miss again. A third rifle thundered across the valley. Another miss. The radio went dead silent. This wasn't just unusual, it was terrifying. These men had executed harder shots under worse conditions. Their rifles were flawless. Their math was perfect. Their training was elite. Yet the target kept walking. Every missed shot tightened the clock around the mission. If the warlord reached the city ahead, he would disappear, and people would die before nightfall. The team leader clenched his jaw. Something was wrong, not with the shooters, but with reality itself. Then, through the static-filled radio, a calm, steady voice spoke. Permission to observe the scope feed. The voice didn't belong to a sniper, and that's when everything began to change. The team leader froze when he heard the voice. It belonged to Lieutenant Maya Cross, a tactical intelligence specialist temporarily assigned to the operation. She wasn't part of the sniper unit. She wasn't trained to take the shot. In fact, she wasn't even supposed to be near the firing line. And she was the only woman on the mission. A few snipers exchanged quick glances. This was not the moment for discussion or theory. This was a live-kill mission with lives hanging in the balance. Combat didn't care about curiosity. Still, Maya's voice was steady, controlled, certain. I'd like to observe the live scope feed, she repeated. The commander hesitated. He knew Maya's record, brilliant analyst, unmatched pattern recognition, but this was different. This was the battlefield. Then he exhaled. Send it, he said. Maya's screen lit up with the sniper's perspective. She didn't speak right away. She didn't rush. Her eyes moved slowly, scanning the terrain, the rocks, the background behind the target. 30 seconds passed. A full minute. Finally, she spoke. You're not missing, she said quietly. The words hit the team like a shockwave. What? Someone muttered. Maya continued, her tone calm but firm. The target isn't where you think he is. Confusion spread across the ridge. The warlord was clearly visible through the scopes. Walking, breathing, real. Maya zoomed in on the terrain behind him. There's a reflective mineral vein running through the rock face, she explained. Under this heat, it's bending light just enough to shift his apparent position. The implication was unbelievable. The scopes weren't broken. The shooters weren't wrong. Their eyes were being lied to. The ridge fell silent. No one had trained for this. No manual had prepared them for it. And Maya wasn't done yet. Give me control of the drone overlay, Maya said. The commander didn't argue this time. He nodded once. On her screen, Maya pulled together layers of data most operators never saw at once: thermal imaging, drone altitude, wind vectors, terrain reflection models. Years of research and simulations came together in seconds. The image shifted. What appeared shocked everyone watching. The warlord's movement wasn't linear. His outline warped slightly every few steps, dragged by heat mirages and refracted light. The man's real position lagged just inches away from where he appeared to be. In sniper terms, inches meant everything. Your bullets are going exactly where you aim, Maya explained. But the image you're aiming at is wrong. She marked a point on the display, slightly off, almost unnoticeable to an untrained eye. That's where he actually is, she said. The lead sniper stared at the marker. Everything in his training screamed against it. Years of instinct told him the target was dead center in his scope. This went against muscle memory, against doctrine. Trust me, Maya said calmly. The sniper inhaled, held, exhaled. He adjusted his aim, not to the man he saw, but to the position Maya indicated. Then he fired. The rifle cracked. The bullet cut through the air, invisible and unstoppable. For half a second, nothing happened. Then the warlord stumbled and collapsed. The valley froze. No panic, no screams, no civilians harmed. One perfect shot. The radio erupted instantly. How did that hit? That was impossible. What just happened? Maya removed her headset slowly. She didn't smile. She didn't celebrate. I didn't change the shot, she said evenly. I changed what you were seeing. Extraction teams moved in fast, securing the area before anyone realized what had happened. The mission was over. Lives were saved, not just today, but in the weeks and months that would have followed. Later that night, as the team regrouped under low light, the commander approached Maya. You just rewrote how we look at battlefield optics, he said quietly. Maya nodded. Skill matters, she replied, but perception matters more. The snipers stood nearby, listening. None of them felt embarrassed. None felt diminished. They felt humbled. Weeks later, the story didn't hit the news. There were no headlines, no medals announced on television. But within elite military circles, the lesson spread fast. Training programs quietly changed. New modules were added: environmental distortion, optical deception, visual bias. All inspired by one moment when conventional thinking failed. The snipers from that ridge never called those misses a mistake. They called it the day they learned to truly see. And Maya Cross, she didn't ask for recognition. She returned to her work, refining systems that helped operators understand the battlefield beyond what their eyes showed them. Because sometimes, even the best shooters in the world don't need better weapons. They need a better perspective. And sometimes, the person who saves the mission isn't the one pulling the trigger, but the one brave enough to say, "You're not missing. You're just looking at it wrong." And that's how one unexpected mind saved the mission and countless lives. If you were amazed by this story, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps us create more incredible stories like this. Subscribe now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a shocking, real-life mission that will blow your mind. Comment below. Could you have seen what you saw? Let us know. Your thoughts might surprise even us.